We're continuing to read from Srimad Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are on chapter 3, text 15. Chapter 3 is all about Karma Yoga. Karma Brahmod Bhavam Vidhi Brahma Skara Samudbhavam Tasmat Sarvagatam Brahma Nityam Yagye Pratishtitam. Regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. So regulated activities are prescribed in the Vedas, and the Vedas are directly manifested from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Krishna first gave the Vedas to Lord Brahma. He spoke the Brahma, he revealed the Vedic knowledge in the heart of Brahmaji. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adi Kavaye. That's the first verse of the Bhagavatam, understanding the position of Krishna, very first verse, directly saying that Krishna is the absolute truth. He's the speaker of the Vedas. And there, what is the Vedas for? Given us how we need to live in this world. Now that we have, living in this world, we have this material body, this human form. What are we supposed to do? How are we supposed to act and how we are not supposed to act? So Yagyartha karma, or the necessity of work for the satisfaction of Krishna only, is more expressly stated in this work. If we have to work for the satisfaction of the Yagya Purush Vishnu, then we must find out the direction of work in Brahman or the transcendental Vedas. So Krishna is saying that here in this verse, consequently, the all-pervading transcendence is eternally situated in acts of sacrifice. Means all work should be done for the pleasure of Krishna. All-pervading transcendence. All-pervading transcendence is the Brahman feature of Krishna. Brahman, the Brahman platform. So what shall we do? We need to find out what we have to do to please Krishna. What shall I do to please him? What shall I do to not, what shall I not do that will displease him? The Vedas are therefore codes of working directions. For example, we live in a country, we are living in Taiwan, we have to follow the laws. We have to follow the laws. If we don't follow the laws, then we are going to be penalized or we are going to be imprisoned or something. Why? Because not following the laws. But that's the law of the country. If we want to stay in that country, that's the law we have to follow. Right now, we are in the material body. So there are certain working codes that are given in the Vedas. So we have to work according to that. Anything performed without the direction of the Vedas is called vikarma, or unauthorized or sinful work. So same, if we do something wrong, we're living in the country and we do a wrong thing, we'll get penalty, right? Or some imprisonment. So similarly, if we do some work which is unauthorized or sinful work, the Vedas are saying, hey, this is sinful, don't do it. You do it, you're going to get a penalty. But we still do it, then that's called vikarma. And we will get the reaction of it. Therefore, one should always take direction from the Vedas to be saved from the reaction of work. Now, why should we take reaction from work? What is this? Why do I have to think so much? Oh, so confusing. Let me just live my life and do whatever I want me to, whatever I have to do. Already such a stress living in this material world, trying to make the ends meet. But why? Because if we are really interested to get out of this material world, if we are really interested to understand the truth, then we have to stop the sinful activity. Why? Because then it will keep giving us suffering. When we are penalized or when we are imprisoned, we don't like it, we are unhappy, right? So that's why the Vedas say, don't do this sinful work. It will make you unhappy. So as one has to work in ordinary life by the direction of the state, one similarly has to work under the direction of the supreme state of the Lord. Such directions in the Vedas are directly manifested from the breathing of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So we have to work under the direction of the Lord, because He is the proprietor. He has made the laws. The Vedas are the laws which He has given by which we have to live. Then it is said, Asya Mahato Bhutasya Nishvasitam Etad Yad Rigvedo Yajurveda Samavedo Arthavan Girasaha. The four Vedas, namely the Rig Veda, Yajurveda, Samveda, and Atharva Veda, are all emanations from the breathing of the great personality of Godhead. Brahad Arankya Upanishad. So we know Bhagavatam also says that Krishna revealed the Vedas to Brahmaji. Then now another evidence, where did the Ved come from? The Brahad Arankya Upanishad says, Brahad Arankya Upanishad 4.5.11 says that the Vedas came from the breathing of the Lord. Emanations from the breathing of, so all this Vedic knowledge came from the breathing of the Lord. The Lord, being omnipotent, can speak by breathing air, for as it is confirmed in the Brahma Samhita, the Lord has the omnipotence to perform through each of his senses the actions of all other senses. So we might say, oh, when I'm breathing, only air is coming in and out. I'm not able to sing by just my breathing. I'm not able to speak just by my breathing. How come God can do it? How come Krishna can do it? Well, why can't he do it? He has the potency to do it. That's why he's God. He is omnipotent. We are not omnipotent. We can't eat with the eyes. Just by looking at food, we get full. We have to put it in our mouth. That's the difference between the Lord and us. Then we might say, oh, just now because I'm in the material body, that's the difference. But right now, the difference is there. We are in the material body. When Krishna comes, he never takes a material body. He's always in his spiritual form. But because we are tiny, we come inside this material body. He never takes a material body. So once we give up this material body, we also have a spiritual form. Yeah, we have a spiritual form also, but not in competition of Krishna. We have a loving relationship with Krishna, loving relationship. So in other words, the Lord can speak through his breathing and he can impregnate by his eyes. In fact, as they said, that he glanced over material nature and thus fathered all living entities. So how was this material world created? Mahavishnu just simply glanced at material nature. He was simply glancing. And by his glance, all we, the living entities, came inside this material nature. After creating or impregnating the conditioned souls into the womb of material nature, he gave his directions in the Vedic wisdom as to how such conditioned souls can return home back to Godhead. So what is the purpose he created this world? What is the purpose? The purpose is for us to give us a chance, a desire to engage in sense gratification, because we insisted with him, hey, I don't want to enjoy with you. I want to forget you and I want to enjoy by myself. So he makes this facility for us to enjoy separate from him in this material world, because in Vaikuntha, in spiritual world, it's not possible to enjoy separate from Krishna. Not possible. There, everything is in relation to Krishna. So because we want to forget, he says, okay, here, go to this material world and you can pretend that you have forgotten me. You can pretend that I don't exist. And also, he gives us a chance to return back home. That is his mercy. He does not say, okay, you live here eternally now. You forgot me, you don't want to be with me. Okay, go, I don't want to ever see you again. No, but his love for us is so strong. He's waiting for us. So he gives us this Vedic wisdom and tells us, keeps coming in different times, as in different forms, sometimes as Lord Rama, sometimes as Krishna himself, sometimes as Nishingadev, sometimes he sends his pure devotees. Why? To make us understand that, hey, you're not the body, you're the soul. Come back home, back to Godhead. This is not your home. This is just, you are in transit. This is not your permanent place. We should always remember that the conditioned souls in material nature are all eager for material enjoyment. But the Vedic directions are so made that one can satisfy one's perverted desires, then return to Godhead, having finished his so-called enjoyment. So because we want to enjoy senses separate from Krishna, so Krishna gave us the way. Okay, you want to enjoy, right? you enjoy in this way. And when you enjoy in this way, you will be able to live happily in this life till the time you're on the material body. And at the end of this life, you can come back home, back to Godhead. That's why it's called back home, return home. You know, what does it mean, return home? Well, it means we are on a journey right now. Like we go for a travel, we are going somewhere else, America or Europe or something. That's how we are going for travel. That's not a permanent place. But after we finish, then we always want to come back home. Oh, I want to go back home. I'm missing home. So the spiritual world is our home. This material world is not our home. So then it is a chance for the conditioned souls to attain liberation. Therefore, the conditioned souls must try to follow the process of yajna by becoming Krishna conscious. So what is this? Krishna consciousness, hearing and chanting, accepting Krishna prasad, working for the pleasure of Krishna, seeing everything in relationship to Krishna. Even those who have not followed the Vedic injunctions may adopt the principles of Krishna consciousness, and that will take the place of performance of Vedic yajnas or karmas. So in Kali Yuga, Krishna made it very easy for us. Just adopt the principles of Krishna consciousness, hearing and chanting, worshipping the deity, seeing everything in relation to Krishna. And then after giving up this body, we can go back home, back to Godhead. That is liberation. That is liberation. Get our spiritual form. Give up this material form and get our spiritual form. That is true liberation. Is that okay?
Yes.
Any questions or comments?
No. But this was also very beautiful, that how on our desire he has created and he let us live, but he also comes back to remind us that this is not your place to be.
Yeah. That's how loving he is, you know. That's how much he loves us. Each and every one of us. Each and every one of us. No matter what body we are in, what species of life we are in, no, he loves each and every one of us.
Though like we are temporary here, and like as a parent, we try to control, as a human, we try to control everything around us. But he who is the real controller, he doesn't want to control anybody. It's just the love that he has to give us. So like how beautiful is that? That controlling somebody is not what is, like we can learn ourselves from this, that controlling is not that is needed. It's the love. If you give love, you get love. But if you control, then yes, like he himself is not controlling us. So how beautiful.
Yes, thank you. Because if he would have control, then it's like people, then we will act out of fear from him. You know, oh, he'll be angry. So no, I must do it, otherwise Krishna will be angry. But he does not want that. He does not want fear. He loves us, you know. It's like if the husband puts the gun on the wife's head and say, you love me or else. So then what is the poor girl going to say? She'll say, yeah, I love you. But is that love? No, that is fear. So Krishna loves us a lot, and he wants us to revive our love for him. Each of us love him immensely. Each of us has this love for Krishna in our heart. We have to revive it. And how to revive it? By chanting the Hare Krishna mantra, by hearing about Krishna from Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita. That's the process to revive it. Thank you. Thank you for your very good realization. So we'll stop here for today. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Premanande, Hari Bol, Hare Krishna.